Today is the day that you all get to decide Mr. Christopher Columbus's fate. Today you will all vote on if he is guilty or if he is not guilty. If he is guilty, you will be in charge of what the punishment happened to him. So, now I want you all to discuss with each other why you think he's not guilty or guilty, and then we'll take a vote on each separate charge. Start.
For the charges.
Start.
What?
Socratic seminar.
Yeah, but what are the charges we're talking about?
Well, we have charges of theft, rape, arson, genocide, and human trafficking. Okay.
That's not true.
Those are examples.
Yeah, this is.
Okay.
Yeah, genocide.
Okay.
Oh, genocide, I think he's guilty.
Jake, start.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm learning it.
We're starting with the genocide topic.
A little bit.
Trevor, I think he is good. I think he's guilty for genocide. He's killing a lot of people. He's guilty, no doubt. Even the defense tried to
Raise your hand if you want to talk.
he's still guilty. He's still guilty.
Christian. No, they're going to raise their hand and I point. Okay. So Christian raises his hand first.
Okay, I think he's guilty as well for genocide, and for sure human trafficking, because I know he was going to do that by the Pope, but, you know, the Pope also gave him to that, and it was completely against his religion, and,
Destiny.
I think he's guilty of genocide. He's not an enslaved man. That was earlier. I think he's guilty because he started like dehumanizing the individuals that were there, and like he initially wiped out what was there. I think he's.
I think he's guilty for genocide because there's documents that prove it.
I think he's completely innocent of genocide because it was not him that killed people, it was his men, and his men were criminals and exiles in the Spanish crown, and they were under the direct orders of Queen Isabella, and he had no control over his own men. It was their decisions to do what they did, and he never did it, and so I believe that his moral compass was straight, but his crew was not, and he had no reason to convince them otherwise of that.
But
Arrogant.
I agree with Will. I don't think he should be tried for genocide. I think there are a lot of other charges that he could be tried for, or he's actually guilty of, but I don't think genocide is one of them.
Zoe.
Whether he's guilty or not of these charges, he's still responsible for the actions his men do because as captain and leader of these ships, he is directly responsible for the actions they take.
oh no.
I think he's guilty of genocide. However, I do believe that maybe we should have like a little mercy on him and give him a second degree of genocide because he was under orders of Queen Machiavelli. So I believe second degree genocide is fair enough.
I don't think he's guilty of genocide because he wasn't even the captain of his men. He was just a sailor who wanted to explore, and he was hooked up with the crew that did anything they want, pretty much. So that's why I don't think he's guilty.
I agree with Keanu because I don't think Christopher Columbus was the captain of the ship. I think he was more like the navigator because he was the one that wanted to find the all sailing method to China, and he believed that. Well, other people believed that they would just fall off the earth, and so I think that they just put him in charge of navigation, and they probably had another captain who was in charge of all the men.
You said probably. You said probably?
Well, who else would be in charge of the men if Christopher Columbus wasn't?
Well, he was supposed to be.
But he had no control over them. They were under the
That's
Spanish
not,
crown.
it's his fault. It's nobody else's problem.
But he still had no control over his men.
Still his fault. That just means he has
One at a time.
Yeah.
He's not a captain, he's just a sailor.
He was in charge of the voyages. Yeah.
We know this is the whole thing.
Okay, yeah.
Let's go get me some stuff. Go get me riches and go get me gold.
Okay.
Spices.
Well, how about arson and rape? Because those two topics were very controversial about the evidence provided. Okay, Destiny, raise your hand, please.
I don't think he's guilty of arson because there was like no hardcore like arguing like, yeah, he did this, like proper documentation or anything.
I believe, I agree. Wow. I don't think he's guilty of arson because there wasn't really much discussion of arson during the trial. We just focused on genocide and human trafficking, and things like that. So I think he's innocent of arson.
I think that he's innocent of arson because there wasn't really any evidence of him committing arson. Or I don't think he's really guilty of rape either because there wasn't any evidence really besides syphilis that could have been anybody whose skirt was fitted.
We're going to take an hour-long break for math class. And when we get back, we will discuss the rest of the...